Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, Satnam, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jai Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here. And those of you that are watching the replay as well, thank you so much for watching the replay. So here we are. Today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we do the show called The Magic of Venus, where we talk about the astrology of Venus, what Venus is doing for the week, what's like the major thing that's happening with her, and how this is going to be affecting us collectively, and also how it is going to affect you personally based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising, because I'm actually going to go through each of the signs after we talk about the astrology and pull a card for each of the signs and do an intuitive reading. And I'm going to be using the astrology cards today, which I'm excited about. I haven't used these in a while, so that's awesome. Let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Raven. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, Maria. Good evening. Hello, Chanel. Hello, Sage. If you are watching, let me know in the chat. Say hello so I can say hi back. And before we hop into the content of the video, I do want to invite you to definitely subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to all the new subscribers and welcome in. And make sure that you hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live. And then also give this specific video a thumbs up so that YouTube knows to suggest my videos to other people that like the similar content. Hello, Lynette. Welcome in. Hello, Jerlene. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Shannon. Thank you for saying hi. So good to have you guys here. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys is that the most amazing thing, hello, Nancy, welcome in. The most amazing thing that is going on right now is the Starseed membership, which is the perfect way to, hello, Mama O, and hello, Joni, to guide you through these major astrology transits throughout the whole year. So if you haven't checked out the membership, make sure that you do. There's video content, there's emails that go out, there is also meditations, journaling, prompts and PDFs that you get for the new and the full moons. We do live events. Our next live event is actually on April 12th. It is an Akashic journey. And it is the day that Jupiter is making a conjunction to Neptune, which is the biggest transit of the year. Hello, Celestial Moon. Welcome in from New York. Good to see you here. So that's basically a really important way or awesome way to get a little more involved. But also download my free moon astrology guide, which is going to tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then it enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report, which is basically the astrology of the coming week. And it's all laid out in a way that can help you understand what energies are coming up and how to navigate through those energies. And the last announcement I want to share with you guys is that the next Moon Goddess Training Level 1 is coming up starting on April 29th. The 30th of April is actually, so we're literally exactly a month away. And when we start, it's actually, we always start on a new moon, but it just so happens that this next one is actually a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. So that is going to be a powerful time to kind of gather together and learn all of the topics that we learn in the Moon Goddess Training. It's a 9-week program. There is a payment plan. The full price is $333, and it has to do with learning how to navigate the third dimension, understanding the fundamentals of the mystery schools, so the 7 laws of the universe, the dimensions, how many dimensions there are, and how you can, move in and out through those dimensions depending on your awareness. Also, sacred geometry is a big, big part of the Moon Goddess Training. And the biggest thing is we enter through the Akashic records and we do these powerful Akashic journeys through each of the temples. And these are the temples that the ancient Atlanteans, the initiatic path, and the students that were on the path to become the high priests and priestesses of ancient Atlantis would go on along this path, which is the path along the Nile, which are all the temples along the Nile. So that is going to be on the 29th, and there's so much more. I highly recommend that you check out the link below, but I also did a video that is somewhere in the history of the videos that I talk about the entire thing. I think it's actually linked to the sign up page. So if you go to the sign up page in the link below, you can watch that video and it goes through the whole thing. There is a lot. Gene keys, astrology, so much more. Moon centers, moon goddess alchemy, like a lot. When will you list level 2? In the next couple of days, like before. So I'm going on a trip to LA this weekend, and before I leave, I will have that up and ready for you guys to sign up. And to sign up for level 2, you have to have completed level 1. So I'm going to share it with you guys that just completed the last level 1. And that's such a good question that you asked that, because when we do the next training that's coming up, it's another level 1. And there's a level 2 and a level 3. Level 2 is applying everything into your life. I mean, I can kind of share with you guys some of the cool things that we're going to talk about. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is the gene keys, but it's actually the gene keys, the Venus sequence. So it's the next sequence. In astrology, we're going to learn about our own natal chart, our progressions. We're going to learn about synastry. So you have to be able to put charts together to recognize like the karma within the relationships. And then also composite charts would tell you the divine energy of that the incarnation of like the soul of the relationship as one. When you guys are working together, what are the gifts of the relationship itself? Those are really powerful charts to look at. We're also going to dive into human design in level 2. We're gonna learn. You're gonna learn what your basic human design type is, your strategy, your authority, your definition, your profile, your incarnation cross, your not self theme, your digestion, your strongest sense, and the best environment for you to like basically function in life. And learning all of these qualities will give you an understanding of how to make decisions in your life, and it's really life-changing to start to incorporate all of these things into your life, especially how you make decisions. That's the biggest deal. there's a 40-day meditation for both level 1 and level 2. In level 2, we dive into the Enneagram. So human design and the Enneagram are new things for level 2. And then we have Akashic record journeys, just like we did in level 1, except the theme for level 2 is to dive into some of these really powerful topics, such as what is your relationship to the Akashic records, the chakras, balancing the chakras, crystal gridding, soul contracts, Akashic astrology, which is a technique that I actually developed, spirit guides, energy and space clearings, mediumship, Akashic journeys, sound healing journeys, and also shamanic journeys, and how to guide and lead your own journeys in the Akashic records. And this is in level 2, we actually have the experience of all of these things. And in level 3, we actually learn how to guide and do the actual readings. And there's more than just that, but that's to give you a little kind of snippet into like where it goes from after level 1. Level 1 is so jam-packed with information. It really teaches you the basic information of what we're doing here in the world as human beings. What is the Earth plan? What is the galactic plan? And what is the cosmic plan? You understand how the universe works. You understand how it was created and how it moves through. You learn the 7 laws of the universe. And basically, we're all bound by these laws. And there's ways to understand everything, every relationship, everything in your life based off of these laws. So it's about internalizing and understanding where you are, kind of from which perspective you're also seeing the world. There's just a lot. There's a lot. So you can register for level 1 by clicking the link below. I highly recommend you guys jump on the boat because I'm not going to be doing another level 1 until January. So you'll have to wait till next year to get on the boat to become the certified Akashic record reader. So level 1 is April 29th. If you haven't done it, if you just graduated, which by the way, you're also going to, before I leave to LA, you guys are going to get your certificate of graduates of the Moon Goddess training level 1. But if you just graduated, I'm going to send you guys the link to sign up for level 2 by the end of this week. And I can't wait to just like feel the energy of that. Is that another book? The Enneagram, we're going to be actually reading about the Enneagram. Hello, Abby, welcome in. And I haven't said hi to a lot of you guys. Valerie, I don't know if I said hi, but hello. Joni, hello. Abby, hello. Melanie, hello. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out. So why don't we dive into talking about Venus, which is actually the goddess, one of the goddesses of the charts. We've got all the goddess asteroids, but Venus kind of really is the one. The moon is also the moon goddess as well, and the high priestess. But Venus is really where we find our desire, our love, where we find our need to connect with others. What is the theme of connecting with the others? Gene Keys, is there another book? The Venus Sequence would be the book that you get for level 2. Besides the big fat book, which has all the main gene keys, I would get that Venus Sequence book. So Valerie wants to get ready already. I love it. I'm the same. I'm like, I need it now. I need it now. It actually helps to read it. So right now let me show you what I'm doing now, which is like super fun, like a little show and tell. I'm diving into the topic of human design, diving into it. I've got these 2 books that I'm going to be basically teaching from. And I'm obsessed with human design. Like I am obsessed with it right now. I found this really powerful connection between human design and the gene keys. And basically it helps me understand, knowing the gene keys now helps me understand human design a lot more easily. So even though human design can be a little more complicated, now that I have the understanding of the gene keys, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to dive into your human design chart. And every system has an ability to teach you about yourself in a slightly different way. And this is why you're not going to get a class that goes into all of the systems. You're going to understand by the end of the training, you're going to know your human design, you're going to know your gene keys, you're going to know your astrology, you're going to know how to pull charts astrologically and how to compare charts with you and other people. I mean, this is like comprehensive AF. This is why I'm so excited about it. Level 1, the associate's degree, level 2, the bachelor's, and level 3, the master's. I love it. So that's really, really exciting, and a little bit of what I've been kind of diving into. Go Jai! All of the books, yay, any and all of the books we will need or recommend prior to the 2 would be awesome. I'll send you guys that too. I'll let you know which books you might want to get. Shanna says, I'm so excited to dive deeper into the gene keys. I know, me too. So let me share the screen with you guys. Let me do a little screen share. And we will talk about Venus and what's happening with Venus this week. So let's go here and 4825 and then over here and then over here, and the chart should pop up any second now. Okay, so there it is. But let me see when you guys can actually see it on the screen. Okay. So we're actually looking at, oh, Jerlene, oh, I love you. So we're actually looking at the chart of right now in this moment. The moon is in Pisces and it's a dark moon. It's been a dark moon. It has also made a conjunction to Jupiter and Neptune. So today is kind of, we're feeling the vibes that we're going to feel on April 12th with Jupiter conjunct Neptune. The moon just passed through here. But now it's void off course. So it feels a little bit like the Twilight Zone. Okay, awesome. It feels a little bit like the Twilight Zone. So, but we're here to focus on Venus, but it's really nice to have context as to what is going on. One thing that we did see today is a T-square from Venus to the nodes. I'm going to do a little markup here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we're seeing is here's Venus, right? And then here's the north node at 23. Here's the south node at 23. You've got a T-square going on. Now, these nodes are always opposing. And the south node we know has to do with karma. The north node has to do with destiny. Venus is part of this, big stellium that's going on right now. And I talked about it for the new moon astrology yesterday. So make sure that you watch that video so that you know what's coming up and how to prepare for the new moon. But the other thing that's going on with this Aquarius stellium, which includes Venus, it was exact today for Venus, is this T-square to the nodes, which means that this feels like a very karmic time. Whenever any planet does a square to either of the nodes, it means that it's literally squaring both nodes at the same exact time because of the position, because they're opposing. And so a square creates this triangle, this T-square. And it's fated, it's karmic. It feels like we are releasing and dealing with some major karmic things. And the important thing to remember is what each planet represents is where the karma lessons are unfolding and the realizations are happening. And this can be very subtle and this can be very obvious that it's happening. And Shannon says super crazy dreams. Yes, it's got to be that moon like so close to like Pisces and so close to Jupiter and Neptune. But Venus has to do with our relationships. And this is why this is relationship karma that is coming up for us this week. There is also, right, you've got Mars and Saturn and Juno, and Saturn is the lord of time, the lord of karma, and he's going to make the exact square to the nodes a little later this next month. However, right now the focus is Venus. So we're starting off the week feeling very much like these things coming up, and they're coming up in our relationships. So the thing that's going to happen from this point until April 5th is the fact that Venus is going to enter a new sign. And that was the title of this video. Venus is going to move into the sign of Pisces. She is right now in the sign of Aquarius. So if I move forward a couple of days, that means that for the next few days, while the moon is becoming new, and there's this new moon cycle coming, you're also going to see Venus at the very last degrees of Aquarius, which can also feel like an intensifying energy. Aquarius can be very aloof. Hello, Veronica, welcome in. Aquarius can be detached. And so we may actually feel detached right now, but however, the karmic things are still coming up and we are dealing with them. Hopefully we're dealing with them and not getting stuck in negative cycles or illusions. Because remember right now, the biggest thing in your life is illusions. Having illusions of things. You want to stick to reality. You want to stick to what's real. Because if you create too many illusions in your life right now, for any aspect of life, you will it's almost like being left at sea because they forgot you, like you were swimming and then the boat left and they forgot that you were in the water. And then you're like, oh my God, that's what's going to happen. It's like if you attach too much to whatever illusions you're having about life right now with all this Pisces energy, the biggest transit of the year that we haven't seen since 1856. So just trust me on this one. It is insane right now, Pisces energy. It's either the light or literally the dark. And it's either like your most powerful miracles or your worst nightmares. And you because we are the beings here that have this consciousness, because we're the beings that have this ability to literally bring that, like manifest all of that's in our dream space, in our mind space, even in the subconscious mind. We can manifest all of it. If you're conscious, what you're bringing in is through consciousness, which means you're going to be aware of the reality of things. But if it's a subconscious pattern that you haven't quite yet figured out that this is what's going on, what you're manifesting right now is the subconscious pattern, which means that you may have a hard time seeing what's actually happening. There may be a sort of, it's like the looking glass or a fogged glass. So it's not clear. You can't really see it. So that's why it's so important right now to be in the reality of what's happening. Always be in the reality. That's the first thing that is going to help you move through this kind of wild out there energy. And what will help you to move through all this karmic stuff that's also coming up. But so we have Venus moving through the last degrees of Aquarius. And then eventually on April 5th, which is next Tuesday, she enters into the sign of Pisces. Now, Venus in Pisces is actually a really beautiful energy, and it's an energy that's going to be happening. I'm gonna fast forward here, and we're gonna watch Venus move through Pisces. She's on the bottom right of the screen. So as she moves through Pisces, she will make a conjunction to Neptune, and she will make a conjunction to Jupiter as well. So those are things to keep in mind. And then right as after she makes her conjunction to Jupiter, she enters into the sign of Aries. And that changes the energy. And she enters into the sign of Aries on May 2nd. So this is a transit that's going on from April 5th through May 2nd. And it's kind of quick. It's rather quick. And we have to remember that right now, Venus is moving further and further away from the Earth. She's actually in a cycle or phase called the surrendering and discovery phase. So this is about surrendering and discovering. Literally, the 5.5 months since she entered this phase, which wasn't very long ago, is about surrendering and discovering. So that's the underlying theme. And as Venus travels through these different signs, that will be the theme of the surrendering and the discovering. So right now in Aquarius, it's surrendering to changing, surrendering to things changing. That's what's going on right now. You're surrendering to the unexpected. You're surrendering to the things that you couldn't see coming. In Pisces, we're going to be surrendering to our love, surrendering to our compassion. And Venus in Pisces can be a very beautiful energy, but again, it can be really gullible too. So Venus loves being in Pisces. And in the sign of Pisces, Venus is actually what we call exalted. And this is a time where Venus can allow herself the freedom of sensitivity and romantic love. We tend to become very idealistic about our relationships, and we tend to feel lonely without a partner. We desire to love and dream about love and can be very compassionate and affectionate. The shadow is we live in the illusion of it, right? Remember, everything has a shadow. We may also become very sentimental with much sensitivity, very sensitive, meaning feeling other people's emotions and things like that. Where we have to be careful here is falling too far down the illusion hole. If we are able to come back to reality, meaning what is actually going on and not what am I projecting that is going on, we will prevent ourselves from becoming lost in the abyss, which is very much Pisces. So, for example, if you are not sure that you're going to receive the love back that you are giving, then it is important to not enter into those situations when it comes to relationships, specifically romantic relationships, at least not with a blind eye. But Venus in Pisces can enter situations with a blind eye because she is literally blinded by that light of illusion. That's why being grounded and having that Virgo anchor, which is the opposite of Pisces, is really helpful during Pisces transits. And especially with Jupiter and freaking Neptune in Pisces, the two co-rulers of Pisces. Everything seems perfect because we are stuck in a dream, in the illusion of what we want, not realizing that the reality of the situation does not reflect the illusion at all. This is the shadow side of Pisces. It can be a hard fall when reality suddenly hits. But if you find yourself in a situation with someone who truly loves you, just as much as you love them, and it's like a giving, both people giving and receiving, you can enjoy this transit of Venus and focus on giving and receiving love and doing the things that feel like deep, powerful romantic connections that will activate more love between two people. This is also a time where our intuition is strong, but sometimes we can be unrealistic. So there's that shadow that comes up again. It's being unrealistic about what's going on. It's basically being in denial, like just not wanting to see reality. In regards to money and spending, because Venus has to do with money and spending, we tend to go way out of bounds in spending money. So be careful. Wherever Venus is in your chart, we'll talk about that in a minute. Be careful wherever Venus is in your chart because you may take it a little bit too far with spending money. So just like keep it real, keep it real. Dang, Venus, she has a bottle that says drink me. That's hilarious. That is really funny, Jerlene. Illuminati says, you're right, Jai. I appreciate the guidance. You're welcome. You're welcome. Grand perspective, not in the abyss. I'm Virgo Venus, so maybe that's good. I think that is good. So wherever your Venus is natally is where you'll experience this energy, this frequency of Venus from, but it's really more a collective transit too, where this is how she's going to be like showering us, right? Because you think of the planets that are like showering us with energy. So wherever Venus is transiting in your chart is where you are going to feel this dreamy, visionary, idealistic view and desire for life and relationships. And again, the transit goes all the way through May 2nd. So actually, I'm looking forward to it. During the transit, Venus will be making a conjunction to Neptune on April 27th and a conjunction to Jupiter on April 29th and 30th. And that's powerful, dude, because that is the day that we start the moon goddess training. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Pisces is going to be the most beautiful, like loving vibes we have felt maybe in our whole lives because of the Neptune and Jupiter being right there. So there's beautiful opportunities, but just remember to stay grounded. And then she moves into Aries on May 2nd. And that's the big deal with this, is that it's a transit that can bring in the most beautiful things in relationships, but can also steer you way off the deep end where it's hard to bring yourself back. So super important that you know where you are in the whole like where like what is your dream? What do you want? And then also like how to actually bring that and make it real is something that you need to think about instead of just staying in the dream. Because Venus can help you manifest. But if you're just always in the dream of it and you're not bringing it here, then it'll just stay in the dream space. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was one thing that kind of came through right now. But I do want to tell you where Venus is going to be in your chart based off of your Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, and then also pull a card for you guys. So if you are, there's 33 in the chat. I love that. So we're going to start with Aries. Let me switch over here. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. Let me know in the chat if you have these signs, these planets in any of these signs, and we're going to talk about the energy of the 12th house. So as I shuffle and pull a card for you, the 12th house is the house of divinity. So for Aries, especially Aries rising, you have been having probably some really, really powerful visions and dreams. It may be overwhelming. Some of them could literally be nightmares because there's so much going on in the house of Pisces, which can be, like I said, miracles or literally like psychosis. So this house is the house of spirituality as well. So it's the house where you get to tap into your higher self, have an experience of your higher self, understand things from a higher perspective. This is about the higher center. So you're talking the third eye, even the throat, third eye, but the crown chakra especially is the visual that I like to give when tapping into this frequency of the 12th house is the spiritual opens up, the body or the physical opens up to the spiritual. Now, in the systems of the body, when you talk about the 12th house or the energy of Pisces, you're talking about the circulatory system. And this is about how everything circulates through the body, right? The circulatory system is the system that, like the blood flow, it's very important, but it's the thing that makes it powerful is that it is everywhere, all throughout the body, and it flows in and out, and it connects at the heart. And the heart pumps, right? But there's this circuitry, and if there's something wrong with the circuitry, or circulatory system, you're going to definitely feel that physically, and it might affect your heart. So this is something to think about too, for especially like wherever we all have this Pisces energy. It is about how it's flowing. How is it flowing for you? How is this the everything connecting to everything else? Is there any blockages anywhere in the circulatory system, both physically, literally, and symbolically? This is the energy that we are dealing with here. And the card that you get, Aries, oh my God, this is so cool. The Cassini point. So in the heart. Whenever there's a Cassini point, it really means something conjuncts the sun, and the sun represents the soul. So it is about being, in your center, being in your space, being at the center of that circulatory system. Understanding from the big perspective, knowing that things have to flow in and flow out. So if you can keep that balance in your life and let your spiritual connection flow freely, you will have a beautiful transit of Venus through Pisces. Next is Taurus. Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. Taurus is having an 11th house transit. So the circulatory system, because that's what we're talking about, the circulatory system with the energy of Pisces. For you, this is happening in a place in your chart that has to do with how you see the world. It has to do with your worldview. It has to do with what are the things that you're actually giving as your natural gifts and sharing with the people, because the 11th house has to do with the people. And if you're working with others in like a community style kind of way, then you will feel more open to really sharing yourself, because in that space you find everyone's uniqueness. So this is about finding your own uniqueness during this time and how that flows in your life. The card that you get is the 7th house, which is the house of relationships. And this makes sense because the 11th house is also about relationships, but it's more about the kind of relationships that are more like friendship type relationships. So Venus in and the sign of Libra is also the energy here. So this could also mean that you're going to be experiencing this in your relationships as well, your romantic relationships as well. I think with Taurus also being the sign that is co-ruled by, Venus and the Earth, this can be an opportunity to bring that beautiful Piscean kind of love really grounded into your relationships with everyone, the whole world, the people. Hello, Christy Ann. Welcome in and congratulations. You have a nephew that was just born today. And hello, Rebecca and Lisa Jane. Welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. So next we're going to go to Gemini and Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, and talk about where this is happening in your chart. For Geminis, this is a 10th house transit. So what you are experiencing has to do with how you are showing up for the world. How are you showing up? And what I mean by that is, are you living your purpose? Are you on your path? And I know many, many ways that you can figure out whether you're on your path or not. And it has to do with understanding your gene keys, your life's work, your evolution, your radiance, and your purpose. Just that initial activation sequence can help you understand what really is your purpose. Your purpose, surprisingly, is not something that you do, which a lot of people think. It's actually what you are. Your purpose is what you are. So if you just resonate who you are, you're living in your purpose. And that's the key to this transit, is the more you are in your purpose, the more compassion, the more love you're going to attract into your life. The card that you get is the sextile, which is about integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, and empathy. It's bringing these harmonious energies into your life as a career person, as whatever it is that you do, however it is that you show up for the world. And it is about, the 10th house is about, this is also the connection to the crown chakra, which means that you are channeling, you are anchoring in your divinity on earth. That's why the 10th house, and that's why this is the house of life, path, and purpose and career, because you anchor your divinity in the world, and that is what it means to live your purpose. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Cancer is having a 9th house transit. So the 9th house is the house of spiritual integration. So this Venus transit may feel like a very integrating time. And obviously, wherever Venus is where we focus on relationships. So you're going to focus on relationships that help you find the answers. Hello, Kayana, welcome in. That help you find the answers to certain questions that you have about life. These can be relationships that help you ponder the spirituality in your life, or your own spirituality, or your connection to the divine. This can be, connecting at a deep spiritual level with others, and especially with people you consider your teachers, whether that's an actual like a guru or an actual teacher, or whether like the teacher is the experience, or the teacher is the child in your life, or the teacher is the whatever comes up for you. You know what I'm saying? Like everything can be a teacher. And so that's where you can understand all of these things. So the card that you get is the waning crescent moon, which is about surrendering, but also restoring, reflecting, listening to your intuition, and being still. The waning crescent moon basically means that you're getting close to a new moon cycle. So what this also says, and you are a moon, you're a moon child. Cancer is the moon child. So anything that has to do with the moon is you flow, right? So Cancer's energy is very flowy, especially with their emotions, right? They can be all over the place emotionally because they're governed or ruled by the moon, and the moon is the most fluctuating energy in the whole chart. So we tend to think of Cancerians as very emotional. Not in a bad way, but in the way that they express themselves, very much having to do with emotions. So if this is a moment of surrender and restoring and reflection, intuition, and finding stillness, this means that you are preparing for something big. You are preparing for something powerful and something beautiful that is initiating in your life. The question is, what are you initiating? And the answer is what you're focusing on and what you're basically attracting. Hello, Nelly. Welcome in. I love that you're here, and thank you for jumping in and saying hi. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Leos are having a 8th house transit. So for Leos, this is going to be interactions or relationships that really help you transform. Maybe meeting people that really help you transform, or desiring to transform things in your relationships, having the compassion for yourself and others as you let something go and you make space for something new. The card that you get is the square, which makes perfect sense. This is very much 8th house. The 8th house is the house of death, change, transformation. It is, in the end, the phoenix that rises from the ashes, but it can feel like friction at first. It can feel like a challenge. The square is a challenge. So something challenging may show up for you during this Venus transit that you feel, or that will, if you take the challenge on, help you to let go of something and make space for something new that is way better or way more amazing, and help you tap into your spirituality more deeply than you were previously. So then we have Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Virgo is having a 7th house transit. So this is straight up for you about your relationships. You're going to feel this energy in your relationship. So Venus in Pisces, exalted, she feels good. She feels happy. She feels romantic. She feels like, this is something that is really fun and like sensual. She can be very sensual in this sign. And that means that in your relationships, that is the energy that can totally manifest for you, if that's what you're creating, if that is what you're connecting to, if that is what you're attracting into your life. So it can be a very beautiful place to have this Venus in Pisces transit. And it can also feel like I was talking about before with getting trapped, in illusions, seeing things that aren't really there, projecting what you think you want, or expecting a relationship to be something that the reality is that it's not really there. But it's hard to accept because it means that you have to accept the fact that really you're in control of your life. You're in control of even what you think about other people. And it really has literally nothing to do with what other people do or say. It's, yes, you'll have responses, right? The 7th house is very much about relationships. So this is a focus here. You'll have responses to people's actions, but your responses don't have anything to do with their actions. Your response to what someone does has to do with the perspective that you're watching it from. We talked all about this in the Moon Goddess training. There's 9 different perspectives. There's 7 different laws. There's different ways to understand what is actually, how you're actually seeing something is everything. That's your world. That's your perception is your world. Remember the temple of Edfu, we talked about the light. In the temple of Komombo, we talked about the dark and how to find your inner light. You have to move through the dark. But when you get stuck in only focusing on one or only focusing on the other, or if you don't understand that there is all of these different ways of seeing whatever experience, whatever relationship you're in, if you don't realize that, then you will be like blinders on, only one eye focused or something, and you'll miss out on some other more expansive way of seeing what's going on that's actually going to be more healing for you, because it'll show you what? Something about yourself, not about the other, but about yourself. So that's why it's so important to recognize what and how you're seeing the world right now, because that's the truth, is that no matter what anyone else does, it doesn't matter. Your reaction is not caused by what they did. Your reaction is caused by some belief system. Your reaction is caused by something that happened a long time ago, and you built up this perspective of something, and that's the cause of your reaction to whatever happened. But whatever happened isn't actually what caused your reaction. This is what deep healing is all about, is by recognizing where the hell that comes from. And the way you're going to heal in relationships is when you stop doing things on autopilot and start to realize that, this is a pattern, or this is a negative habit. This is something. This is a pattern that I've been repeating since childhood. And when I recognize the pattern, then I no longer have the ability to blame something on someone else's actions, because their actions literally have nothing to do with me. Because then their actions, if you take it further, their actions have everything to do with their patterns. Whatever happened with them, whatever that person did, whatever was the action that they did, comes from their beliefs and their patterns and their everything they believe in. That's the background of what's coming up. So that's why it doesn't have anything to do with you. I like that word, discernment. So that is the power of really truly healing in relationships. We're talking about the 7th house, Virgo. So really truly healing in relationships has to do with you recognizing your patterns first and foremost before you throw your projections out on other people. That's it right there. You get the waning gibbous moon, which is about releasing, being in gratitude, nurturing, and being of service. So this moon phase happens right after a full moon. It's a time to like relax and start to let things kind of calm down after the culmination energy, the intense energy of the full moon. So that what this card tells me is that this might be a phase where you are starting to maybe not have such a climactic kind of thing going on in your life, but very much could be having the effect of like, well, things were really intense and now I'm going to relax a little bit and I'm just going to be in gratitude for understanding all of these things in my life. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Libras, you are having a 6th house transit. And the 6th house is first and foremost the house of being present. Being present. So your job during this time is to be present. The waning moon, it happens after a full moon and it is not waxing anymore. Now it's waning. So that when the moon waxes, you see it become bigger in terms of like the white fills in the whole circle. Waning is its opposite. The light starts to leave the moon and you don't see the moon anymore as much in the sky. So this is about being present. So Venus in Pisces, actually the beautiful thing about that is she will help you to find your ability to have compassion and be present for it all. To have the compassion and be present for it all, whatever shows up in your life. And the planet, you get a planet, and it is Pluto. It is Pluto. This is a kind of a gnarly glyph of Pluto with the fire. But Pluto is transformation. Pluto is rebirth, renewal, and obsession. Obsession with being in control. So that's the warning here. You do not want to try to control anything. Not in any Pisces kind of way. Because you block yourself off, you close yourself off from really seeing infinite possibilities. Pisces can be infinite possibilities. So power dynamics may show up. You yourself may go through a powerful transformation. But the more you can stay present with whatever comes up, the more you will come out of it with flying colors. Come out of it feeling renewed, like reset. So this is going to be a powerful one. Could be intense. Scorpio, Pluto is a very sometimes it's hard to deal with those kind of transits. We're going through right now through South Node Scorpio. And we can already tell, if you didn't yet, all of the shadows that are coming up for the collective, all of the skeletons that are coming out of the closet, and everything that comes out of the shadows. Literally, that's what's going on right now with the collective and with everyone individually. So the more you let go and release, the more you will renew. That's focus on renewal. That's going to help you a lot. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Scorpio is having a 5th house transit. So for Scorpio, this is about finding your joy, finding your passion, stepping into love, loving just because, loving being creative, loving being in your energy, in your nature, enjoying life. All of those things have to do with this house, the 5th house. Children, your relationships with children also can be romantic relationships as well. Those are important things. And this is where you're going to feel this energy of Venus and Pisces showing up. And the energy is retrograde. This is the card that you get, the retrograde. So this is going to be a time of deep reflection for you. And this makes sense because with all of this Pisces, we are in a sense doing a lot of reflection. We're seeing things from a higher perspective. You might feel like you're going backwards, but it's not that you're actually going backwards. It's just the illusion of going backwards. You know what a retrograde is. It's the planet looks like it's going backwards from our perspective here on Earth. This is why in geocentric astrology, the Earth is in the middle and we're looking out at the planets standing on Earth. So sometimes it looks like they're going backwards because of the relationship between their orbit and us, but it's the illusion that they're not actually going backwards in the sky. They're always moving forward. What's the other heliocentric charts where the sun is in the middle, the planets never go retrograde. Because from the sun's perspective, they're always going forward, going around in a circle, round and round and round. But remember that if you feel like life is moving backwards, that's only an illusion. What's actually going on is that you are doing some deep, powerful reflection during this time. This is what this might feel like, and it might affect your relationships, especially with children or romantic relationships, and your own relationship with your own inner child. That's also the 5th house. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising Sagittarius, you're going through a 4th house transit, being the house of the home and family. So this is actually beautiful. Having Venus and Pisces in the 4th house is like, we can breathe. There's love, there's like compassion for each other. There's the nurturing. It can be nurturing. It can be, it gives love, and it brings in like divinity. You know, it can have the ability to really show you the beauty in everyone in that you love, that is a part of your family. That's why this is really beautiful. These are the relationships that you're going to feel affected are with your family and at home, with anything at home, pets, all that stuff, anything that belongs to the realm of the home. This is where you're going to experience that transit. The card that you get, this is really interesting. You get the 10th house. So the 10th house is the house that's exactly opposite the 4th house of the home. So this is about finding the balance between the two. So we think of the 4th house is we're home and we're with our family. When we go out into the world, the opposite of the home and family is the 10th house, out into the world, living out your life purpose, living out your destiny. You're out there. It's the opposite of being home and feeling safe and secure. It's about going out there and doing things. So somehow you're going to feel maybe some kind of balancing act between the two. You may be feeling a balancing act because this is saying focus on. Maybe what this means, and this might resonate with some of you guys, is live your purpose, live your life, but at home. Like give of yourself to those you love, to those that are closest to you, and you'll make a big difference in the world. I think that's the message that I was getting. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus. And rising Capricorn is having a 3rd house transit. So this is about, because the 3rd house is the house of communication, and because Venus is the planet, is going to be in Pisces, which is the planet of relationships, this is communicating in relationships through a deeper understanding. Communicating in your relationships through a deeper understanding, meaning listening to your intuition. And also in all of these houses that I was talking about, that's where you're going to feel your intuition the strongest. And you are already feeling that right now because of Neptune and Jupiter. But Venus and Pisces will activate your intuition and will help you to communicate from your heart, from a loving space to anyone. To everything and everyone, because communication is communication. It can be communication with your own spirit guides. It can be communication with people in your life. Because it's Venus, we're going to focus on relationships, partnerships, all that stuff. But in general, communication will be a little bit more connected. You'll be more connected to your intuition in this way. And look how beautiful that you actually pulled Mercury, the planet that rules the 3rd house and the planet that rules communication. So extra affirmation of listen to your intuition, because your intuition will guide you very powerfully as to how to communicate during this transit that Venus is passing through your 3rd house and conjuncting with Neptune and also Jupiter. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, you guys are having a 2nd house transit. So this is cool because when Venus transits the 2nd house, you get an opportunity to really draw in abundance into your life. Venus has to do with money. And in the 2nd house, it becomes a very strong theme. So by listening to your intuition, Pisces, and following the intuition, you will bring more abundance into your life. This can be a time where this beautiful benefic planet, Venus, helps you manifest what you really want. I actually think it's amazing. You also get the stellium, which is reinforcement and concentration. So this is going to be a perfect time for you to focus on manifesting. And this is about security and money, like straight up. And actual possessions, like things that make you feel good. Like, yes, buy yourself that like bottle, because that's the one that you love. And that's the one that's the best. And that's the one that feels good. So think of what you want. The best, the thing that will bring you comfort and security And the energy will be concentrated here so that you can manifest even more. I think that's actually really exciting energy for Aquarius. So this is a time for you to actually manifest, to focus on manifesting during this, because, and think of it this way too, you've already got Jupiter and Neptune there. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Venus and Jupiter are the two benefics. When they come together, it's like Santa Claus on steroids. In your second house, this is like anything is possible, but don't overspend. Thank you, Chanel. Very important. Don't overspend. And the same thing for those of you guys that were having an 8th house transit. Leos, don't overspend. And don't overspend other people's money. If that makes any sense to some of you. And last but not least, we have Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. And Pisces is having a first house transit. So Venus in the first house can make you feel really beautiful. So this is going to be a time where you actually express, like embody the goddess. And it'll feel like you can really show the love by how you dress, because the first house is the house of identity. It's like literally what you look like. But Venus and Pisces energy, it can make you feel like you can express this beautiful like divine goddess within you and enjoy embodying that energy. So you're going to feel like big energy. And I think it's going to be really beautiful. And the card that you get is Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to magnify this energy. And Jupiter is also there. So big, big things happening for you in terms of understanding yourself. This is about understanding yourself. This is the biggest theme that is happening here. So you can embody the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful aspects of Venus in your life by feeling beautiful yourself. But you can also, right? Remember the shadow. All of these things have a shadow. You could also attract something that may really not feel like beautiful. You might attract like the opposite of that. So focus on being in a good vibrational frequency state. And I think you will attract really beautiful things. And you may even attract beautiful like relationships with people. And they may be romantic or they may not be. But this is a great opportunity for you to just be in that essence of who you are, which is Pisces, which is love and the divine and the spiritual, and connecting deeply with yourself and showing your true, your true self, showing your beautiful colors to the world. All right, you guys, that was good. Those were really good. I really enjoyed all of the messages and all of the cards that came out. And remember, this is going to be starting on April 5th, so next Tuesday. So by the time we come together next time to do the magic of Venus, we are going to already have felt one full day of this frequency. So this is going to help you to get ready for it, to set yourself up for success as we enter into this new transit. So again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening, a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you all again on Friday night. We are going to be doing the new moon ceremony in Aries. So I'll see you guys all on Friday for that. Have a beautiful week, like I said, and hang in there. Hang in there during this crazy dark moon phase that we're having. Sat Nam.